Alright, how-to video. If you're like me and you like to DIY clean and repair and do everything on your own reels, I'm going to show you how to fix the anti-reverse on this Okuma Avenger AV2500. For some reason it stopped working. So if you look at this one, this is the one I'm having had issues with. So there's your forward. Now this switch right here is supposed to be an anti-reverse. So if it's switched to the left, you go forward, reverse, forward, reverse. To the right, so use this reel that's working properly. To the right, forward, no reverse, forward, no reverse. Again, flip this one that's working right. To the left, forward, reverse. It's only supposed to go in reverse when this switch is flipped to the left. Right, no reverse. I just cleaned this one, took it all apart, redid it. Haven't done this. This is the first time cleaning this new AV2500. It's my trout rod. This one, again, left, proper, forward, reverse, forward, reverse. However, put it all back together, flipped it to the right, forward, not supposed to reverse. Oh, now it's reversing. Took me about 2 hours. I figured out why it wasn't going in reverse. I'm going to show you how to fix this anti-reverse that isn't anti-reverse. So we're going to take everything apart. It's a very simple fix, but it's one that I just now ran into. They've never ran into before, and it's very frustrating. So again, we'll take everything off. Take the spool off. Take off your gear with your washer. Inside we have the screw that holds the nut in place, and then we have the nut. So go ahead and take the screw out first. Careful with all the parts. Put that aside. I just use a pair of needle nose pliers. Turn that to the right to loosen. Okay, take that off. Set that aside. Take your gear housing off. Okay, there's supposed to be 2 steel washers in here. One's right here, stuck on the bottom, so I'll put that there. There's another one right in here. So I'll actually just go ahead and tap that. Alright, second one came out, so we'll set those aside. And then you go ahead and remove these 2 screws. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through these since it can take a little while. Okay. Now take this black piece off, and you'll see the steel plate in there. So we'll put that aside. Go ahead and take a small screwdriver or something. Pop this little black plastic piece with this wash or with this bearing out carefully. Okay, so pop this out. Okay, set that aside. Now here's the fun part. See that spring in there, that teeny tiny little spring? Got to be careful with that. So we'll pull that out. You could use tweezers or needle nose pliers. Just be careful. Just kind of set that. It's got a rounded piece right there at the end. That's what hooks onto a little tiny hole right here. Okay, now we'll go ahead and take this piece out. This is your anti-reverse piece. This is what makes it all work. So you could see this plastic piece can come off, but if you do, the little tiny vertical bearings in there will fall out if you drop it, and it's a pain in the rear end to get back. So here's the anti-reverse. So if you take your thumb and and any finger, put it top and bottom, you could see that this bearing spins to the right. But if you go to pull it back to the left, it locks. That's the anti-reverse part. Okay? So when this switch right here is flipped to the right, and you try to reverse, you can see it doesn't spin. Go to the right, normal reeling, it spins. It's perfect. Now if that switch was flipped to the left, it disengages the anti-reverse, and you could go both ways. Okay? So what you want to do, and what I found was hard, and took me a while to figure out, is there's little slots in this reel, in that black housing, that fit these little notches. So there's 4 notches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So I was under the impression that it needed to be locked into place. So here, you can see, boom, it locks. You can't go any further, and that notch lines up. And that's where the issue was, is when I was locking it, it didn't have a way to anti-reverse lock it, right? So when I did that, that's why it kept spinning forward and reverse when it was set. So what you actually have to do is get it to where that little notch is inside there, but doesn't lock, right? See how that's not locking? So what you want to do, like I was saying, is you want to make sure that the little notch right there is free to move. See how it's freely moving and not stuck? You spin it. See how that one sticks there? Locked. That's what you don't want. Spin it to the next one. No lock, right? See that? Lock. No lock. Lock. Stuck. Won't reverse. Moves freely. So you want to get this little notch that's moving freely there, though, to stay right in that spot. And then you're going to slide it right back down into its position. Okay? Then you're going to go ahead and take your thumb, push this plastic piece all the way over. Hold it over. See that black little piece sticking up? Make sure that white plastic piece is sticking all the way up against it. Then you're going to take your tweezers or your pliers, you're going to put that spring back into that little tiny hole right there. You see it right in there? Little tiny black hole. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in there. Okay. See that spring's in there now. All the way to the side, pushed all the way over. Okay, that should do it. Now we're going to take your bearing. So again, the bearing itself pops out of the top. There's only one way to put this on. If you put it down this way, the bearing falls out. Take it like this, bearing sits right in there, right? It can't go out the other side. There's only one way to put that in, so that's very easy. So it slides right back onto the top. There's a little notch. See the little notch right there? That's what's going to face this little black little rod sticking out. So you go ahead and match that up. Just push that in snug. Boom, locks right into place. Excellent. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and take this black piece with that little metal plate. Going to line it up. And put that. Actually, it's actually easier to do the plate first and then put the black piece on it. So we'll take this 3 little spots. This right here is a little protrusion, or a little piece coming out right there. See that? You line that up with this little round top one. So put that on there. Then you take your black housing piece, put that right on top, make sure those align. Then we'll get our screws put back in. Okay. Okay, now I'll fast forward through this again. Oh, and before I forget one thing, don't screw one in all the way without screwing the other one in part of the way, because otherwise you may bind the plastic piece. You may put this in a bind and you might crack it if you screw one side in all the way tight first. So I'll do one side mostly in, then I did this other one. Now I can tighten this one all the way down. Okay, perfect. Now you can before you put everything else back on, I strongly recommend checking. That way, in case for some reason it didn't work the first time, you could redo it without having to take everything else apart. So again, see if it's fixed. Forward, no reverse. Forward, reverse. Forward, reverse. Forward, no reverse. So perfect, that's all fixed now. Excellent. Now go ahead and take your metal washers, put those back on now. Okay, go ahead and put your housing back on. Okay, take your brass nut. Now this, again, opposite of how we do normally. Go left to tighten that. Tighten that all the way down with your fingers. Okay, then you could take a pair of pliers or your wrench or socket and tighten that all the way the rest down. Just enough to where the flat side, see that flat side, is parallel to that hole, because then again you take your little screw there, the locking screw, screw that all the way in. Okay, that prevents that nut from unscrewing. Then you're going to take your gears and your washer again, put those back on. Okay, go ahead and put your spool on. Okay, then we'll put the drag nut on, or drag button, whatever you want, whatever it's really called. And there you have it. Anti-reverse fixed. Forward, reverse, doesn't go. Flip the switch, forward and reverse. Forward, reverse. Flip back to the right, forward, no reverse. And again, this is for the Okuma Avenger series. So this is the Avenger 2500 little trout rod, or trout reel, sorry. But yeah, in case you're having issues and you took it apart, cleaning everything and put it back together and your anti-reverse stopped working, that's why. That little white piece, that little bearing has to be not locked when you put it back in, and everything will go back to normal once you do that. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them down below. But other than that, take care. Go get some. You.